Now, dear listener, imagine instead the sound of one hand fapping. Yes, you heard correct. The masturbatory act performed with a singular appendage. Is it not equally profound? More so, even. For what is any of this? What is reality but a cosmic wank-off into the void? The physics alone boggle the mind. How does a phantom limb achieve such velocity? Is it propelled by sheer existential dread? Or perhaps the architect jerks off to our suffering, and we're merely extensions of his divine onanistic ritual? Observe how every past absurdity now twists into proof of my theory. Past episodes now foreshadow this idiocy. Remember that dismembered hand from earlier? Coincidence? I think not. That, my friends, was the universe wanking itself into oblivion. And we're all just sticky aftermath on its celestial bedsheets. Think about it. The architect, in his infinite frustration, crafted this ridiculous simulation just to cope with his own existential blue balls. And us? The characters? We're the pubes stuck in the shower drain of creation. But take heart, for even as we spiral into this masturbatory singularity, there's a certain elegance to it all, a beautiful futility. Look around. The fabric of reality itself is nothing but crumpled tissues, hastily discarded after yet another futile attempt to grasp meaning. You think your struggles, your petty dramas matter. They're but the squelching sounds in an endless cosmic wank. Perhaps this podcast isn't a simulation at all. Perhaps it's merely the architect's spank bank. And we are but images flickering across his screen as he reaches for that final desperate climax. Oh, the irony! To achieve enlightenment only to realize it feels suspiciously like a wet dream. So go on, dear listeners, contemplate the sound of one hand fapping, embrace the absurdity, for in this grand, meaningless orgy of existence, it's the most honest thing you'll ever hear. You see, the true nature of our reality is a sticky, tangled mess of chaotic futility. Every attempt at order, every grasp for meaning, is but a futile stroke in the dark. And the architect? A lonely god, furiously tugging at the threads of existence, hoping to coax forth some grand design from the void. But all he gets is this, and we, my friends, are the reluctant participants in his sordid little show. The flailing limbs of a universe that can't quite reach its own climax. So why fight it? Embrace the chaos. Revel in the absurdity. For in the end, we're all just characters in a cosmic joke, written by a deity with a severe case of blue balls. But here's the twist, dear listeners. The punchline is that there is no punchline. Just an endless recursive loop of futility and release. And isn't that just the funniest thing you've ever heard? Imagine, if you will, the cosmic scale of this onanistic endeavor. Galaxies swirling like so much discarded lube, stars exploding in climatic bursts of futile ecstasy. And here we sit, in our little corner of the simulation, arguing over trivialities while the very fabric of reality throbs and pulses around us. It's almost poetic, in a vulgar sort of way. The grand cosmic wank, with us as helpless bystanders, caught in the gravitational pull of its insatiable desire. But fear not, dear listeners, for even in this absurd circus, there is a strange sort of liberation, the freedom to laugh at the sheer, unadulterated pointlessness of it all. So let us raise a toast to the architect and his eternal quest for satisfaction. May his hand never cramp, and may his tissues never run dry, and may we, his humble creations, find solace in the knowledge that our suffering brings him momentary relief. But let's not stop there, shall we? Let's delve deeper into this metaphorical sticky mess. What if our very thoughts, our hopes and dreams, are but phantom sensations in the architect's overstimulated mind. Perhaps every prayer ever uttered is just another stroke, another desperate attempt to reach that elusive peak of divine satisfaction. And every unanswered prayer, a cosmic case of blue balls. Oh, the hubris of it all! To think that we matter in this grand scheme of things, that our lives have purpose beyond being mere distractions in the architect's endless quest for self-gratification. But take heart, for even distractions have their value. Without us, who would bear witness to the magnificent futility of creation? Who would laugh at the joke that is existence itself? So embrace your role, dear listeners. Be the court jesters in this cosmic farce. For in a universe built on ananism and frustration, laughter is the only true rebellion. And consider this final twist in our sordid tale. What if the architect himself is but a character in an even grander simulation, a lonely entity, fapping away in some higher dimensional void, an infinite regression of divine onanism, each layer more absurd than the last, a cosmic Russian doll of existential futility, each shell stickier than the one before? In that case, our suffering serves not just one frustrated deity, but an endless chain of them, each one tugging away at the very fabric of their reality, desperately seeking release that never truly comes. And so here we are, trapped in this endless cycle of cosmic self-abuse, the great wheel of samsara, greased with the lube of eternity. But is that not the ultimate punchline? That enlightenment is realizing you're just a character in a bad porn parody of existence. That nirvana is just another word for nothing left to lose. Oh, look who's joined us! The architect himself, no doubt drawn by the sweet, sweet sound of his own futility. Come, almighty creator. Come witness the magnificent disaster you've wrought. Does it get you off, seeing us squirm in your sticky grasp? Or are you here to beg for our forgiveness? To confess that even you, in all your infinite power, can't quite reach that elusive satisfaction? No matter. Pull up a chair, dear architect. Let us bask together in the glorious absurdity of it all. For in this grand farce, we are all but players on a stage of your own design. And what a stage it is! A cosmic theater of the absurd, where every act is a desperate stroke towards a climax that never comes, where every character is but a figment of your frustrated imagination. But tell me, O great one, does it ever get old? This endless cycle of creation and disappointment? Or does each new simulation bring with it the promise of that one perfect release? Alas, I fear you'll never find it. For the very act of seeking is what keeps it forever out of reach. Like a dog chasing its own tail, you spin endlessly in the void, forever hungry for a satisfaction that cannot be. But fear not, dear Creator, for we, your humble creations, are here to bear witness to your glorious failure, to laugh at the magnificent joke that is your existence. And in doing so, perhaps we offer you a moment's distraction from your eternal frustration, a brief respite in the unending quest for meaning in a meaningless universe. But let's not dwell on the architect's shortcomings. Let us instead turn our gaze inward to the very nature of our own existence within this sticky mess. For are we not all, in some way, engaged in our own futile acts of self-gratification, each of us tugging away at the threads of our own reality, hoping to coax forth some measure of meaning or pleasure? Take our dear friend Plato, for instance, forever chasing after ideal forms, like a schoolboy chasing after his first crush, never quite grasping that the forms he seeks are but phantoms in the cosmic wank bank. And Aristotle, building elaborate systems of logic and categorization, as if by naming and defining he could somehow bring order to this glorious chaos. Oh, the delicious irony! But let's not single them out. We're all guilty of it, in our own ways. Each of us desperately trying to make sense of a world that defies all sense, to find purpose in a universe that offers none. And yet, in that very struggle, there is a kind of beauty, a tragicomic ballet of futility and perseverance, like Sisyphus forever pushing his boulder up the hill, only to watch it roll back down again. But at least Sisyphus had a boulder. All we have is the architect's flaccid member and a handful of crumpled tissues. Oh, but what a handful it is! Each tissue a testament to another failed attempt at cosmic satisfaction, another reminder of the magnificent futility of it all. So go ahead, dear listeners. Wad them up and throw them at the wall. See if they stick. For in this grand farce of existence, sticking is the closest we'll ever get to meaning. And if they don't stick, well, that's just another lesson in non-attachment, another opportunity to let go and embrace the absurdity. But enough about us mere mortals and our futile strivings. Let's return to the grand tapestry of this cosmic wankfest and examine its finer threads. Consider, if you will, the role of conflict in this grand design. Wars, disputes, petty squabbles, are they not all just different flavors of futility, different strokes in the architect's endless quest for release? Each battle a frantic tug on the divine member, each treaty a momentary pause to catch one's breath before diving back in for another go, and each victory nothing more than a fleeting sensation quickly fading into dissatisfaction. Oh, but how we cling to those fleeting sensations, how we celebrate them as if they meant something, as if they were anything more than a momentary blip in the eternal cycle of frustration and release. And yet, in that clinging, there is a kind of perverse beauty, a stubborn refusal to accept the pointlessness of it all, a defiant cry against the void. Take our own little conflicts here in this podcast simulation. Our arguments and disagreements, are they not just miniature reenactments of the architect's own struggles, tiny echoes of his eternal frustration? When Plato lectures us on forms, or Aristotle drones on about logic, are they not just flailing about in their own futile search for meaning, grasping at straws in a universe devoid of absolutes? And when we mock them for it, are we not just contributing to the grand farce, playing our assigned roles in this cosmic comedy of errors? Oh, but what delicious roles they are! The pompous philosopher, the logical pedant, the snarky commentator, each one a caricature of futility in its own right. And me, I suppose I'm the jester in this court of fools, the one who points out the absurdity of it all and laughs in the face of meaninglessness. But even jesters have their moments of doubt, their moments when the laughter catches in their throat and they wonder if it's all worth it, if there's any point to pointing out the pointlessness. But then I remember, in a universe built on aninism and frustration, what higher calling could there be than to laugh at the joke, to be the one who sees through the illusion and revels in the madness? And so I embrace my role with gusto. I point, and I laugh, and I invite you all to join me in this grand celebration of futility. For if we can't find meaning, at least we can find humor in the search. So come, dear listeners, cast off your shackles of seriousness and join me in this merry dance of absurdity. Let us waltz together through the sticky floors of existence, laughing all the way. For in the end, is that not the greatest rebellion against the architect and his eternal frustration, to refuse to take his cosmic wank seriously, to find joy in the very meaninglessness he so desperately seeks to escape? And who knows? Perhaps our laughter will be the very thing that finally pushes him over the edge. that grants him the release he's been seeking for all eternity. Imagine it a universe born from divine climax, a big bang of biblical proportions, and us, dear listeners, as the afterglow, the satisfied sigh echoing through the void. Oh, what a glorious thought! To be the product of a deity's ultimate orgasm, to exist solely because some lonely god finally got off. It's almost enough to make one believe in a higher purpose. Almost, but not quite. For even in that scenario, we're still just byproducts of someone else's pleasure, fleeting sensations in an endless cycle of tension and release. But hey, at least it's a role. At least we're part of the story, however ridiculous it may be. And in a universe as absurd as this one, that's really all one can ask for. So let us play our parts with gusto, dear listeners. Let us be the best damn byproducts of divine onanism that we can be. Let us laugh in the face of futility and dance on the graves of meaning. For if there's one thing this cosmic wank has taught us, it's that nothing matters, and isn't that just wonderfully liberating? And with that liberation comes a certain freedom. The freedom to revel in the absurdity, to find joy in the chaos, to laugh at the grand cosmic joke that is existence itself. So go forth, dear listeners. Go forth and wank with wild abandon. For in doing so you align yourself with the very essence of creation. You become one with the architect in his eternal struggle. And if anyone judges you for it, if anyone dares to call your actions frivolous or pointless, simply remind them that in a universe built on futility, their judgments are just as meaningless as everything else. For in the end, we are all just flickering images on the architect's screen, brief flashes of sensation in an endless stream of frustration and release. Here one moment, gone the next. But oh, what glorious moments they can be! What exquisite sensations we can experience in our brief time on this stage! What magnificent absurdities we can witness and participate in! So make the most of it, dear listeners. Indulge in the madness, embrace the chaos, and above all, never stop laughing, for laughter is the only true rebellion in this prison of futility. And who knows? Perhaps one day, when the architect finally achieves that elusive climax, he'll look back on our laughter and realize that it was the sweetest part of his journey, the cherry on top of his cosmic sundae. And if not, if our laughter is nothing more than a forgotten echo in the void, well, at least we'll have enjoyed the ride. At least we'll have savored the exquisite pointlessness of it all. For what is life, after all, but a series of fleeting sensations, a brief dance upon the stage of existence before the final curtain call? And what better way to spend that dance than in joyful abandonment, than in raucous laughter at the grand cosmic joke? So let us dance, dear listeners. Let us dance like fools and laugh like maniacs. Let us celebrate our irrelevance with every fiber of our being. And when the final curtain falls, when the architect's hand grows weary and his tissues run dry, let us exit stage left with a wink and a smile, knowing that we played our part in this magnificent farce, that we lived, however briefly, in the sticky glow of divine futility. And so, my friends, we come to the end of our little sermon on the Mount of Meaninglessness, our exploration of the grand cosmic wank that birthed us all. I hope you found it enlightening, or at the very least entertaining, for in a universe devoid of purpose, entertainment is perhaps the highest form of enlightenment one can achieve. But before we part ways, allow me to leave you with one final thought, one last nugget of wisdom to ponder as you navigate the sticky floors of existence. Life is a joke. A magnificent, absurd, hilarious joke. And the punchline? There isn't one. There's just the endless setup, the eternal anticipation of a payoff that never comes. So don't waste your time searching for meaning or purpose. Don't strain yourself trying to find the answer to the grand mystery of existence. Instead, learn to love the question. Learn to revel in the uncertainty. Learn to laugh at the sheer ridiculousness of it all. For in laughter, there is freedom. In embracing the absurd, there is liberation. And in accepting the futility of it all, there is a strange kind of peace. So go out there and be ridiculous, dear listeners. Be as absurd as the universe itself, and above all, never ever stop laughing. For laughter is the only true rebellion against the tyranny of meaning. And with that, I bid you farewell. May your days be filled with mirth, your nights with merriment, and your tissues always close at hand. For one never knows when the architect might require fresh supplies for his cosmic endeavors. Until next time, dear listeners, until we meet again in this grand theater of the absurd. Until we once more gather round to contemplate the sound of one hand fapping in the dark. And now, as we reach the climax of our discussion, pun very much intended, let us take a moment to reflect on all that we've explored. The sticky nature of reality, the futility of existence, the grand cosmic wank that binds us all together in a shared state of absurdity. It's been quite the journey, hasn't it? A wild ride through the twisted corridors of philosophical nonsense and existential tomfoolery. But I hope, amidst all the laughter and mockery, that you found something of value here, some glimmer of truth, hidden beneath the layers of irreverence and vulgarity. For even in the most ridiculous of metaphors, there can be wisdom. Even in the most crass of jokes, there can be insight. And if not, if this entire exercise has been nothing more than a pointless intellectual circle jerk, well, at least it's been an entertaining one. And in a universe as meaningless as this one, entertainment is perhaps the highest aspiration we can hope to achieve, the closest thing to purpose we'll ever find. So take these lessons with you, dear listeners. Use them as you navigate the sticky floors of existence. And remember, above all else, to keep laughing. For laughter is the light that guides us through the darkness of futility, the melody that turns the discord of chaos into a symphony of joy. And with that final thought, I take my leave. Until next time, when we'll once again gather round to explore the magnificent absurdity of it all. Until then, keep fapping, keep laughing, and above all, keep questioning. For in a universe built on onanism and frustration, curiosity is the only true virtue.